Art is weird. It's messy, subjective, and powerful. Creative license is the engine. It's the freedom to bend rules, break norms, and explore the uncomfortable. Artists use it to innovate, to shock, to make us feel. It's how we get masterpieces, but it's also how we get controversy. Creative license is a double-edged sword. Too much, and art becomes unhinged, offensive, or just plain bad. Too little, and it becomes sterile, boring, predictable. The sweet spot, that's where the magic happens. Think of Picasso's Guernica. Disturbing? Yes. Powerful? Absolutely. It used distortion and symbolism to expose the horrors of war. It sparked outrage, but also conversation. That's the potential of creative license, to challenge us, to make us think, to push boundaries. But it's not a free pass. With great power comes great responsibility, even in the wacky world of art. Finding that balance is the artist's eternal struggle. Exaggeration is art's favorite spice. It adds drama, humor, and impact. Think caricatures with giant noses or satirical news shows. But when does exaggeration cross the line? When does it become harmful? Take Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat. He used outrageous characters and situations to expose prejudice. Hilarious to many, yes. Offensive, definitely to some. Did it spark important conversations about cultural bias? Absolutely. The line between satire and slander, humor and hate, is razor thin. Artists must walk it carefully. Their responsibility is not just to entertain, but also to consider the potential consequences of their work. This is where ethics come in. Ethics are like the guardrails on the artistic highway. They provide guidelines, but they don't dictate the destination. Artists must ask themselves, what am I trying to say? Who might be hurt by this? Am I punching up or punching down? The answers aren't always clear-cut. But asking the questions is crucial. Because even though art exists in a world of imagination, its impact on the real world is very real. Conformity is the death of creativity. When artists are afraid to challenge norms, to push boundaries, art becomes stagnant. Censorship, whether from governments or corporations, is the ultimate creativity killer. History is littered with examples of art being stifled by those in power. From book burnings to banned films, the message is clear: conform or be silenced. This not only robs us of potentially great art, but also prevents important voices from being heard. Of course, not all art is created equal. There's a difference between pushing boundaries and promoting hate speech. But when fear dictates what can and cannot be expressed, we all lose. Artists need the freedom to experiment, to fail, to offend even. It's through this process of exploration that we discover new perspectives, challenge assumptions, and ultimately grow as a society. So the next time you encounter a piece of art that makes you uncomfortable, ask yourself why. Is it challenging your views, exposing you to something new? That's art doing its job. Embrace the discomfort. Money makes the art world go round, but when artists become reliant on sponsors, it can compromise their vision. Suddenly, the art isn't just about expression, it's about pleasing the people holding the purse strings. Imagine a musician censoring their lyrics to appease a corporate sponsor, or a filmmaker softening a film's message to secure funding. It happens all the time. And while compromise is sometimes necessary, it's a slippery slope. The key is transparency. Artists should be upfront about their funding sources. Let audiences decide if it influences the art. And if a sponsor tries to dictate the message, well, that's when artists need to channel their inner rebel and walk away. Because true art comes from a place of authenticity. It's about expressing a unique vision, not conforming to someone else's agenda. And that's something no amount of money can buy.